Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the World Class Championship Wrestling Review Series, and we are entering the month of August of 1987. Specifically, I believe August 1st is the order of the day. I hope to have September up tonight as well after SmackDown. This is being recorded on a Friday, so hoping to have September up too. But there's 5 of these I've got to record, and then some other things for my regular jobs, so a lot depends on that. Anyway, so as we move forward into August, some new stuff. Kind of surprised by some of the folks who get an opportunity here. Kind of also surprised by a lot of what happens in the next little while. Um, Bruiser Brody and Perry Jackson are the beginning of our program. Obviously, this is a squash for Brody. Brody comes in, hits several power moves, kicks, boots, and the like. Obviously, you're not going to see Bruiser Brody do anything other than beat the tar out of whoever he's in the ring with, especially in a squash match situation. Oddly enough, that gentleman wearing a kind of the t-shirt thing, and sends him to the. There is a brawl that continues between Brody and his adversary of the day. They go into the post. Brody sends him back into the ring. Brody tries to choke the man out, and then we kind of get the kick to the head. Brody is dominant here, ties him up in the ropes, gets the running kick, and away we go. 1, 2, 3 after a body slam and a running knee drop, and Brody or a leg drop, and Brody with your victory. Next we have Len Denton and Killer Brooks and Ted Arsini versus the RPMs and Matt Bourne. RPMs obviously have gone babyface here. Odd that kind of occurs, and I personally I think they do a bit of I don't want to say too many turns, but just the turns sometimes come out of nowhere. RPMs are not people that I see as you know see as guys who are in that role. Anyway, typical 6-man, lots of chaos, yellow tights and jackets for the RPMs. Percy Pringle out there causing his level of chaos. Oddly, this is the shortest episode we have, running at 34 and a half minutes. I don't know that I've ever seen a world-class episode so short. Matt Bourne is here. Matt Bourne is trying to help the newly babyface RPMs get some level of overness, back elbow, and kind of some brawling with Arsini. Arsini's a guy who takes a good bit of punishment and double knee lifts by the RPMs. RPMs are getting what surprises me is a decent crowd reaction. Brawl by Brooks and Arsini. And then, I'm sorry, Brooks and Bourne is where I was going, and Arsini and Bourne too. That whole trio cuts Bourne off from his partners for a while. Matt Bourne, as a babyface, has gotten more over than I expected it to be. Killer Brooks into the ring with one half of the RPMs. Tag off, and the RPMs seem to be getting the babyface run. I wonder if this means the Fantastics were leaving soon for them to be turned. That would be unfortunate because the Fantastics are one of the better parts of the program. Ted Arsini is doing majority power stuff here, and obviously it's one of those things where kick to the midsection and other sorts of things. and then kind of, tag off. We see where it leads, and back elbow, and I mean the RPMs in their first babyface match not doing badly. I do think, clocking in at about 12 minutes or so. The match does run a little long. Killer Tim Brooks falls victim to a sunset flip that doesn't end the match, and by this point we're talking 12 minutes into the 13 minutes into a 36-minute program, and the other than the show open, this has been the match. It's not, and a really short bruiser Brody match. This is, it's a downturn. One half of the RPMs runs wild and gets a attempted inside cradle. All 6 guys in the ring. Match goes a little nuts, as is to be expected, and the baby faces do get the victory. Percy Pringle gets laid out in the process. Steve Simpson and Kevin Von Erich are restrained from going in and getting even with Brian Adias, and all of that. That's a backstage segment. Then we go to Cowboy Tony and Tommy Rogers. An interesting deal here to see Rogers with flowers and kind of really put as more of a baby face, wearing pinkish stuff, just really baby face-esque. Boy Tony, obviously one half of or what has been the tag team champions in the past. There's a nip up by Rogers. Really, I didn't see Tommy Rogers until his his ECW run. Sorry, and so I'd only seen him singles. I knew that he was in a tag team, other than some WCW stuff. So this Fantastics run has really made me respect him even more than I did before. So that's been fun. The continuation of the pull on the arms, kind of the rowboat-like move. Boy Tony off the ropes and goes completely after his adversary, missing an elbow drop in the process. Then we kind of see the match broken down a little more, using the rope and trying to use more weaponry and a strap and all that. Backslide out of the corner, and Rogers gets the victory. Personality profile on Mark Lawrence, the announcer. Really basic. I mean, he talks a lot about the nature of getting into the sport, what kind of brought him there, the challenges of talking every week, some of the production aspects of things. Basic piece. I like the fact they're doing this. I'm not necessarily sure they need to do it for as many people as they've done it. Main event, Tony Atlas and Skip Young against Eric Emery and Frankie Lancaster. Superman Tony Atlas has taken off to kind of the next level. We then see Skip Young do the majority of early work. Young, I don't want to take a shot at Tony. I love Tony. I've worked with Tony many times. But as far as selling, I would choose Skip Young over Tony Atlas. Tony, with his strongman gimmick, doesn't need to sell as much. Atlas, Young, on the other hand, is more of a seller. Also moving quickly through this match with arm drags. Gets his opponent into the corner. Emery, I wouldn't necessarily say the better of the two, but the more ferocious of the two. Lancaster, really, again, I didn't even know he had much going for himself outside of some squash matches. They go into the ropes. Atlas obviously uses the power bit for the majority of the next little while. Inverted atomic drop on Skip Young by Frankie Lancaster. And then they try to cut the ring off on Young for a bit. gut wrench suplex, which is very nicely done, into a pinning combination by Eric Emery. Emery doesn't want to take a backward step. Lancaster comes in, hits a back suplex of his own with a bridge. Bridge is always an extra added touch. And I mean, they run right up to the last 90 seconds of the program with the match. Drop kick by Lancaster and a drape of the leg over the ropes. Atlas is begging for the tag, really wants the tag, does not get the tag as quickly as he wants it. And I mean, this is a, for the combatants in the ring, really good match. Double heads together of Atlas and I believe Eric Emery, but ultimately Atlas and Young do get the victory here to close out the week. We'll be back with more right after this.